Hello everyone, Allison From-Tapp from Spalding University's Counseling Center, back again with day 15 of our series from the Greater Good Toolkit. Today we're going to be talking about finding perspective, and I think this is one that can be really helpful for anyone at any time. So let's talk about why you should try it. Research suggests it can be beneficial to process and reflect on our negative feelings. But when we try to do so, it's easy to start ruminating, to get caught up in that loop of repetitive, painful thoughts. Gaining perspective on negative events, or self-distancing, is a practice that allows us to view our feelings and experiences from an outsider's perspective. Sometimes this is accomplished just through our language. Saying things like you, or she, or they, rather than I. And other times it's accomplished by imagining an experience from a distance rather than through your own eyes. Studies have shown that taking this more distanced perspective can help reduce anger, sadness, and other negative emotions around any distressing event, as well as minimizing recurrences of thoughts. So let's talk about how you can do this. So take a few moments to bring to mind a difficult experience that you're dealing with. Some event in the past that made you sad or angry, for example, or some anxiety or worry that you may have about the future. Try to understand your feelings using you, he or she, they, and even your own name as much as possible. If your name is Jane, for example, you would ask yourself, why does Jane feel this way? What are the underlying causes and reasons for Jane's feelings? If you begin to see an event in your mind, try to watch through the eyes of a distanced third-party observer rather than through your own eyes. Spend just a few minutes, literally maybe 3 minutes, reflecting in this way and writing down your thoughts if you feel so inclined. The goal here is not to avoid or separate you from your feelings, but to analyze them from a clearer and more helpful vantage point. Although it may feel unnatural to talk to yourself in the third person, research suggests that it can help you to confront difficult feelings without becoming overwhelmed by them. Eventually, you might be able to use this kind of self-talk during events that are actually unfolding, such as a stressful task at work or a particularly challenging social situation. You can repeat this exercise each time you find yourself ruminating on negative experiences. So let's talk about why this works. In everyday life, we typically think and talk to ourselves using first-person pronouns like I or me. Using self-distanced language like you, he, she, they, means that we're referring to ourselves the way that others would refer to us. This linguistic shift seems to create a cognitive shift, allowing us to gain perspective on what's going on. Some studies also suggest that self-distancing encourages us to think in more abstract terms, rather than focusing on the concrete details of what's happening and the feelings involved in a particular event. Then we're more likely to have realizations, generate deeper understandings, and find closure. This allows us to deal with the negative feelings constructively without getting swept up in them. So the next time you have a challenging event, remember, try to help yourself see that from someone else's perspective. Get an outside view and then think about how you feel. Thanks for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day.